Hi, my name is Pip Coombs. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about writing strong female characters. Unfortunately, people have kind of taken this to a weird place. So most commonly what you're seeing now in literature is that the strong female character is actually someone who is very beautiful but doesn't know that she's beautiful, and doesn't value her beauty, and is extremely strong and gives it to all the men, and doesn't value anything that has anything to do with femininity, is more of a tomboy. She can be cynical and jaded and difficult to love. She can be downright bitchy and awful, and all of this is perceived to be a strong woman or portrayed to be a strong woman. And often, unfortunately, this then becomes a kind of annoying ass-kicking cliche of a character, and she lacks any real depth or ability to empathize with other people or even admit when she's wrong. To me, a strong character is, whether it's male or female, is someone who can admit their shortcomings and see their own faults and their mistakes and apologize when necessary. They're open to learning. They're capable of kindness, of empathy, of crying. They're able to step up when the moment requires it. They're able to face their own challenges and their pain, and they're able to talk about it, but they also don't shove it down everybody's throat and make it everybody else's problem. And most importantly, when they get knocked down, they get back up again. The difficulty with writing female characters is that there are an awful lot of cliches, and society can struggle with the idea of an assertive woman who knows what she wants, who's ambitious, and they're often deemed to be bitchy where a man wouldn't be. On the other side of things, even though women can sometimes be called irrational and excessively emotional, they are often able to express their emotions more freely. They're able to cry, they're able to lose control a little bit more without it being seen as a sign of weakness, whereas a man, if they were to do the same, often people perceive it incorrectly, in my opinion, as a sign of weakness or a slight of their masculinity, and often they're called derogatory things like a pussy. So the first most important thing to me is that when you're writing strong female characters, you need to understand the other side of things and how men can be perceived, and consider that in the way you create your characters and the way they express their emotions and the way they react to other people's emotions. Everyone cries sometimes. Having your character break down in private behind closed doors or in public in front of other characters can actually be a really powerful and moving moment, and a really important thing to include in your writing. Showing characters who grieve, sometimes who grieve freely and publicly, and characters who get knocked down but get back up again is a really important thing to show other people that, hey, it's okay that I broke down, but it also gives them something to connect to emotionally and something to relate to with that character. When you meet someone and you think, wow, that's a strong person, what is it that you are picking up in that person? Are they physically strong? Are they able to endure? Have they suffered but they're still pursuing their dream, or they're still fighting on despite significant trauma or significant suffering in their life? Are they able to keep a calm and level head in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds? Are they spiritually really connected with who they are and understanding who they are and their relationship with the universe potentially, or with other people? Are they intelligent? Are they opinionated? Are they relentlessly pursuing their dreams with a dogged determination? Have a think about the people you've met when you thought that they were really strong individuals, and try and see what characteristics it is in them that you admire or you perceive to be strong. The older I've gotten, the more I have started to really appreciate how strong mothers are and how hard that role is. I look after my niece once a week, and she is an easy kid. Like, she is better than like 90% of the kids out there at least. And it's still not easy. It's still like you're still watching this little person all the time and hoping that they don't stick a fork in the socket or poke themselves in the eye or get in a fight with someone else or hurt themselves in some way. And you've got to make sure that they're learning and getting educated and being influenced by things, and that you're teaching them how to deal with adversity and how to be kind and how to be empathetic. Like, this is a huge role. And people completely don't understand how difficult motherhood is and how strong those women are. Look at the lengths that women go to for their children. Look at the love, look at the empathy, look at the protective instincts. These are all really important characteristics for me in a strong character, but it's also just an aspect. It's not like I only think mothers are strong or that all mothers are strong. I just think that it's often an underrated character quality, and that often what you see in books is that the strong female character is actually someone who is childless, who is domineering and has a lot of typical male characteristics. And the stay-at-home mum character is thought of or written in a way that makes her less than the other female character. And I don't think that either is stronger or weaker for having children or not having children. I think that the strengths are different, and you need to look at whether your characters are well-rounded, three-dimensional people. But you've got to remember that marriage and motherhood don't make the woman. Not everybody wants to have children. Not everybody wants to get married. Some people are strengthened by their relationships. Some people struggle with the volatility in their relationships. Some women are fiercely independent and ambitious with and without partners, or with and without children. Don't make your characters dependent on the social validation of ticking boxes that people think that women should tick, like marriage and motherhood. It's not necessary to create a strong character. When I was writing and plotting out the Phoenix series, and the first book is called The Hunted, I wanted to really make a deliberate effort to include strong female characters of different ages, ethnicities, and different life experiences. I wanted women that were part of the central plot, part of the subplots, part of the educational process. I wanted them to go on journeys, to find themselves, to lose themselves, to make mistakes, to fail. These are all really important aspects of the human journey, and they're not just important aspects at one point in our lives. We struggle, we succeed, we fail, we strive, we try, we learn continuously throughout our lives. It was important to me to create female characters that hurt people, that were hurt, that learnt the importance of authenticity, that learnt to value themselves. I wanted them to be real people who were going on a real journey, and I really strongly believe that you can't know real joy without knowing pain, and so that definitely affects the way I write and the characters that I've created. You won't like every person that you meet, and you won't like every lesson that you learn in life, but it's important that you learn them anyway. If you want to write strong female characters and you want to avoid standard cliches, then don't create cliche characters. Don't create two-dimensional characters. Sit down and take the time to think about the character's arc. What experiences are they going to go through that ultimately gets them to the end? What is their central motivation? What are they trying to achieve? What is it that they want? What obstacles are they going to come across, and how are they going to react to those obstacles? Don't just do this for your main characters. Consider it for your less important characters as well, as you'll end up with a much thicker character base and a much thicker plot. It doesn't have to be all spelled out in the work. It doesn't have to be all revealed to the reader. But if you've thought about it, you are so much less likely to create a cliche character or an annoying character that you weren't intending to be annoying. Sometimes people are annoying, and sometimes it's important to have annoying characters in books. But it is also really important to have people, have characters who are like real people, that people can connect to when they read to, that have actual legitimate emotional responses to things, that have physical strength, that don't have physical strength, that are young, who are old. And just think about how different life experiences would impact each character. an 18-year-old is going to react to an event differently and process it differently to someone who's 75, 85, 90 something and been around the block a time or two. I had a conversation once with my best friend and I said to her, I just don't know how you actually go about raising a daughter. And she said it's something that she'd really thought about a lot too, because you want them to be strong, but you don't want them to be unkind or perceived as bitchy. But you also want to raise them to understand that society may perceive them that way, just as a result of them having personal strength or ambition or goals that they pursue. You want to teach them to be safe and aware of their surroundings and, you know, more cautious when they're walking down a street by themselves at night. But in the same breath, you don't want to teach them to be afraid. So it is a very complex thing to do to raise a woman, and you should think about your characters as women who have been raised by someone, even if you don't necessarily reveal anything about that character's mother or family background. But someone would have put thought into raising that child. That child would then have had life experiences, and the way in which that child was raised will reflect as an adult. Their experiences throughout their life journey will reflect in the way they respond to things. So I guess what I'm saying is, when you write a strong female character, raise her right. Think about the way that you would want her to react to things and what needs to happen in order for her to react that way. Where are you taking her? Where do you want her to end up being? What characteristics does she need to have for you to perceive her as strong? What characteristics does she need to get to the end goal? What does she need to go through? What does she need to struggle through? And take her on a journey. She's not going to just wake up one day and be exactly who she needs to be to overcome insurmountable odds. It can take time for people to grow and mature, and everyone gets there at a different rate. They can fall, they can fail, they can struggle, and that's really important. Don't rob them of those experiences, and don't rob the reader of the experience of watching your character mature, watching her come to the point that she needs to be at the end point of your novel to do whatever it is that you want that character to do. Don't create two-dimensional people. Create people with thought. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to like this video. Let me know in the comments below what characteristics you see in women around you that you think are strong women, or what characteristics you think you have that make you strong and unique. This is going to be a great opportunity for other writers to get ideas of different strengths that people can have, and the different strengths we can see in women, and I think that it would be a really great time to contribute to the conversation below. And let me know if there are any other videos you'd like to see in the future on this channel.